Hello, so today we are experimenting with painting, and the first box we're going to do is the brush control. So we're going to get some water on our brush and a yellow, and we're just going to block colour the yellow. And it's about showing brush control, so trying to fill in the box completely without going over the lines. Just using the one colour, yellow. Try to fill it in completely. Okay, there you go. Second one is we're going to wet the background. So it says wet on wet. And we are going to wet the background just in water. And we are going to just drop little dots of colour and see what happens. So let's make sure it's wet. And try and get a lot of colour like that. So the colour kind of disperses like a firework. Try and fill your space with that effect. Build on top of it a little bit maybe. If you go over the same spot a few times, what happens? Does it go further? Do you get a disperse of colour? A bit more as it dries. You probably won't get so much of the effect. Okay, so the next one, let me just check what it says here. Box number 3 says wet on dry. So I'm going to do it in blue, I think. So dry paper, and I'm going to get a blue, and I'm going to just try and fill up my space. So it says start with some dry paper, pick up some paint, and then you can see your paint strokes on there. Try and practice this. Mine in stripes. You can see, try not to add too much water, just build up that colour. Right, and the next one is box number 4. It says building up colour. Start with a blob of water. Start with a blob of water. blob of water. And add a tiny bit of colour too and blend. Okay, so I'm going to do this in green. And I've got and I'm going lighter, lighter, lighter. So I start this end with lots of colour. And I'm going to lightly go through so you can see it start dark, and as it dilutes it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. So try to show this technique across the whole page, and then we're going to go on to step number 5. It says neatly underneath the writing creating gradients. Pick 2 colours next to each other on the colour wheel and put a blob of colour one end and a blob of colour the other end, so next to each other on the colour wheel. So if I do red and orange, so red this end, red this end, 50-50, the blobs start one end, clean your brush and involve stripes. So I'm going to go orange, the other end, I guess it's orange. Let's try and fill the space a bit more. So red this end and orange the other end. Does look a bit more orangey, but as you dilute it, of course it looks a bit more red. And then you can see they're blending into each other in the middle, creating another colour, maybe more of a tangerine. And the last task said paint a simple small shape in your box like stars and curls and squares. Whatever you want, give it small shapes and then try and paint around it. So small paintbrush for this one, I think. I am, like she said, it says stars, so I'm going to paint a star. Paint it in. And a moon. And another star here. Okay, and now I have to paint in the inside, so let's see, dark blue. So just trying to go around the outside of your shapes. This is probably the trickiest one that we've done so far. And paint around them. This is all practice for your next lesson. too much water because it will sink into the other shapes. Try to be careful. It takes a little bit longer to do this one. We're almost there. Draw the shape first. Sometimes letting the yellow dry first would work better, so you're not going to make a green out of the blue and you can build up the colour so you can make it darker. Make sure you fill in any gaps that you can see and get as close as you can to your shape. Okay, so they are the 6 painting techniques that you're doing today. Thank you.